Halftime here in Dallas. Green Bay leading it 10-3. Dallas has actually outrushed Green Bay almost by a 2-1 margin. And Snake, how would you size up the quarterback comparison, though?
Well, I think that Dallas has done a good job of maintaining control of the ball and keeping the ball away from Don Majkowski. The turnover really hurt Dallas down. They got down inside the 10-15 yard line. Aikman threw the interception. They go in there, then we basically got a tie game.
Well, the Cowboys haven't had too much to cheer about, but they're going to stay in the Christmas spirit here, festive occasion.
What do you call that?
Wow. I have no idea. Rocking Cowboy, rocking Santa.
There's the Longhorns.
Everything done Texas style. Big.
Big.
Luis Zendejas will be kicking off for the Dallas Cowboys. Still yet to release the infamous tape, the conversation he had with Al Roberts of the Philadelphia Eagles coaching staff, talking about the bounty that was placed on his head by Buddy Ryan. From the 2. And Carl Bland across the 20 up to the 31-yard line. So Carl Bland with a 29-yard return stopped by Scott Ankrum. And certainly no bounty on Luis Zendejas today.
No bounty on Zendejas, just turned him loose, and it doesn't look like he's real enthusiastic about getting down there and really hitting anybody. Just kind of stay out in front, make sure they don't break a long one, then go back over there and put on the warm coats.
Head to the sideline.
You bet. Keep the foot warm.
1st and 10 for the Pack. Ball at the 30. Fullwood and Woodside, the backs. Fullwood. Across the 35. Up to about the 39-yard line. Is going to be about a half a yard shy of the first down. The 9.5-yard run by Brent Fullwood.
Well, you're going to see Hallstrom, the guard, right here is going to pull. It's that misdirection. It's that counter tray stuff that Washington made famous. There's Hallstrom out front. Fullwood, number 25, going around Jeff Coat, number 77. Falls right in behind Hallstrom for a nice gain.
Snake, as you recall, Lindy Infante said he needed Fullwood to be a 1,000-yard rusher for him. He's about 800-plus yards this year.
800-plus yards, but they're going to be a situation where they throw the ball to their outside people. They're not a team, an offensive team that's dominated by their running game. They're a passing team.
2nd and 1, complete to Perry Kemp for the first down. And Manny Hendricks on the stop. Well, we were talking about Brent Fullwood. Started off like gangbusters the first 5 games of the year, and then, as he has in the past, been slowed by those nags and nicks.
Yeah, he gets a little nick, you know, that really slows him down. Some players are able to cope with that sort of thing, others not. Pain thresholds are different in everybody, and of course the little nick with Brent Fullwood gives him problems. He needs to be completely 100% healthy in order for him to be the most effective.
During your days with the Raiders, pain was something you guys seemingly loved.
You knew that you were in the middle of pain before you put on a uniform most of the time. Headache or something.
On first down, Perry Kemp actually slipped the line of scrimmage. Didn't get to the pass in time. Nobody hates that more than Don Majkowski, who had to take a hit as a result. Third period has not been favorable for the Cowboys this season. Jimmy Johnson, boy, he's got a list of things to go over as he gets prepared for next year.
We talked to him this week, and he said the thing that bothered him the most about the NFL was the fact he didn't have the time that it takes to help develop the younger players. You've got to go out and deal with the 22 or 28 that's going to do most of the playing. No time to help develop the young guys.
On 2nd and 10, Majkowski throws it complete. Eugene Lockhart and Ken Norton trying to rough up Keith Woodside. 4-yard pass play. Well, Johnson also said that he's going to take a note from Lindy Infante and really delve heavily into the Plan B market this year.
You get the experienced players, the unprotected players from other ball clubs to filter in with your young ball players to try to come up with a nucleus, a solid group of players. As Lindy Infante said, I think Plan B players will help you. I think they'll help you develop a very competitive team, but I don't think that Plan B players will give you the player that it takes to get over the hump, so to speak, the championship type teams.
3rd and 6. The to scramble. Kemp comes back and catches it near the first down marker. Looks like he's going to be some inches shy, but just a great second effort on the part of Kemp. Mikowski looking him all the way.
Great effort on Mikowski's part to find the time to do this, and then watch the catch. Here's the athletic ability that buys the time to throw the ball, but then watch this catch. He goes up, makes a nice catch, comes down, has the presence of mind to know where the sideline is. Very nice play by Perry Kemp.
Leo Miles, the referee, right on top of the play. So being shy in that first down, Bracken punts it away to the Cowboys. And the ball will be marked inside the 10-yard line, near the 7. Nice punt by Don Bracken. One of the names that Lindy Infante is known by as being a very creative type, and certainly he was one of the more aggressive ones with respect to the Plan B free agent route. Brought 20 Plan B free agents to camp, kept 9. Some of that graphic there, Green Bay and Kansas City, played heavily with it. They did well with it. Chicago and Cincinnati may do wise to play with the Plan B market this year. And Snake, Lindy Infante says, hey, it won't necessarily make you a championship caliber team, but it will help.
It will help. What it will do, it will help you find people that you need at various positions. What you need is, if you need a guard, you find an unprotected guard that already has some experience, already comes from a situation where he has developed some skills, takes him out of a situation, a player out of a situation where he's unwanted, puts him into a situation where he is wanted, and most of the time that motivates the player to say, hey, I'm going to go play very well for this team, show that team that they should have protected me, and I think it'll help the Cowboys situation.
As a matter of fact, Blair Bush is the only starter for the Packers, Plan B free agent. But Lindy Infante says it makes the team much more competitive and certainly gives them depth. Second to 9. Aikman deep in his own territory. Complete to Burbage. Up to the 16-yard line. It's going to be shy by about 2.5 yards of the first down marker.
Cowboys have done a good job with their blocking combinations. The blocking combinations are by formation, one or the other, of keeping number 97, Tim Harris, out of the game. Tim Harris' name has not been called that often today. Nice job by Kevin Gogan of forcing Harris behind Aikman, letting Aikman step up. They're controlling Harris very well this afternoon.
Harris leading the NFL in sacks with 18.5, 3 shy of the NFL record 22 by Mark Gastineau. And it looked like Gogan on the right side of that Cowboy offensive line moved a little too quickly. Flag on the play.
False start, 68 offense, 3rd down.
And they're actually going to give it to Crawford Kerr. He had a little help, though, with Gogan. As a matter of fact, because Tim Harris was leading in sacks in NFL at the time, he thinks that's the reason why he was nominated, selected finally for the Pro Bowl.
Well, he's had that reputation of being a player that likes to talk and taunt, so to speak, some other players, and thinks that that's been a reason he hasn't been voted to the Pro Bowl in the past, but being the leader in sacks, he thinks is the reason why he was selected this year.
3rd and 6. Takes a wicked hit as he goes down. Johnny Holland in on the tackle. An 8-yard run, and that should be enough. More than enough for the first down.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, he's been the leading rusher on the team the last 5 games and has a couple of hundred, almost 300 yards rushing this year. I think most of them have come, or almost all of them have come, because of this right here. Running for his life. A lot of pressure, create scrambling situations where he runs. I think he needs to learn to stay away from some of the abuse, some of the punishment. Get down, protect yourself.
Johnny Holland on the tackle, but Chuck Cecil nailed him wickedly, giving a little help. 1st and 10. Aikman throws behind Steve Folsom, incomplete. 9:24 remaining in the 3rd. Packers on top, 10-3.
Well, they're just not giving him an opportunity to get set back there. He's rushing everything, and you get in those type habits when you're with a team that really hasn't protected the quarterback all that well. Right there, he throws the ball behind him because he gets back and he rushes it. Get back there, get the feet set, let the receiver get into his move and deliver the ball.
Second and 10. Complete to Derek Shepard, and Shepard is going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down. 8-yard pass play.
Nothing real fancy here. What they do is they try to get outside of containment right here. He's going to sprint out to the outside. Receiver runs off, comes back to the outside. Aikman has the opportunity to either run the ball for the first down once he gets outside or breaks containment. They contain him fairly well here. Elects to throw the ball. Nice play.
3rd and 2 for the Cowboys. Running hard, and enough for the first down. A good 3-yard bull run by Darrell Johnston, the rookie out of Syracuse.
Good second effort. Good second effort there after initial contact of keeping the legs driving, spinning off of people. There's number 48, Darrell Johnston from Syracuse. Takes a play. Watch here. Hits in there. Stops, spins, keeps driving. Nice effort for the first down.
Darrell Johnston, of course, coming back from injury, hurt his leg, and back and pushing hard. Matter of fact, the report in the first half seemed to be a lot more serious than it actually was. Hyperextended knee. Tim Harris. And it's intercepted by John Anderson. So Anderson comes up with the interception, the 3rd of the afternoon for Green Bay, but give an awful lot of credit to Tim Harris harassing Troy Aikman.
A lot of credit to Tim Harris for harassing Aikman, but you take Aikman, and this is something that the young quarterback will have to learn. It's something that he probably will learn. Backed up in your own territory back there, you're sprinting out. Don't turn the ball over. Just throw the ball away. You're still involved in a very close game. You're getting a lot of heat from Tim Harris, number 97. Don't try to force that. Look at the yellow shirts. 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow shirts in there. Throw the ball away.
Packers take over. And Fullwood running hard forward for about 2 yards. John Anderson's first interception of the year. Missed last week because of a tender ankle. Scott Stephen came in his place and played extremely well.
Scott Stephen came in. He's made an immediate impact, and I think that has to be a good sign for Lindy Infante. John Anderson, a longtime leader of the Green Bay Packers on defense, and I don't know how many more years he has left, but they certainly have a very capable replacement in Scott Stephen.
2nd and 8. Fullwood. Up, and the ball comes loose. Cowboys have it, and Jack Del Rio runs in for the touchdown. "57 yards run by Jack Del Rio." And give the credit, the assist to John Carter, who jarred the ball loose.
Well, they get a lot of penetration. There's Fullwood with the ball, but look at the penetration right there by number 75 for the Dallas Cowboys. You get John Carter, gets that penetration, disrupts everything. They don't get a clean handoff. Ball goes on the ground, and Jack Del Rio picks it up, and it's got the Cowboys in a position to tie the game up.
Zendejas with the point after attempt. And it's good, and we've got a tie ball game. So Jack Del Rio, 5th-year player out of USC, part of that platoon defense, comes away with a big play, a touchdown for the Cowboys.
Bob, we said that Lindy Infante reminded his team of one thing, that, listen, hey, the Cowboys are in the very same place that we were last year. When we were 2-12, we went in and upset the Minnesota Vikings, knocked them out of the Central Division Championship, and we can't let that happen. We can't let the Cowboys play spoiler. What's happened here today? The Cowboys are in a very good position to play spoiler.
And the Cowboys, who haven't had much to smile about all season long, have something temporarily to smile about. A tie ball game at 10 apiece. From the 7th, Vince Workman. Vince Workman still on his feet. Driven out of bounds at the 38-yard line. So Vince Workman with a good return, giving Mikowski good field position. Elsewhere, the Philadelphia Eagles leading the Phoenix Cardinals by a touchdown. And, of course, the Packers need the Eagles to lose in order to get into the playoffs. Raiders and Giants all tied up. Giants, of course, trying to win the NFC East Division with a victory. And the Rams, on an Everett 7-yard TD, lead New England 17-3. That's not good news for the Packers. Greg Bell at halftime, 17 carries, 159 yards for the Rams. 1st and 10 for the Packers. 6:41 remaining in the third. Tie ball game. Complete to Perry Kemp, who's still on his feet across midfield. So Don Mikowski coming out fired up, whips a completion.
Well, you get the feeling that the Green Bay team is just on the verge of exploding. They haven't really played very good here in the first part of this game. They've let Dallas get back in the game with big plays, and as the one they just had, they've contained the passing game very well, made them take things underneath. But you get the feeling that the Green Bay team is on the verge of just exploding. They're that type of team, can strike very, very quickly with Kemp and Sharp and company.
Ball at the 49 of the Cowboys. 1st and 10 for the Packers. 3 wideouts. Sterling Sharp in the slot. And another miscue.
Well, as we talked, it's that very thing. I mean, that's the second fumble recovery, second fumble snap. The fumble for the touchdown. They just aren't playing the type of ball that it takes.
Offside, 51 defense. 1st down.
And there was a late flag thrown over to the far sideline, the Cowboys sideline, and the culprit, Ken Norton.
Well, you see that graphic right there talking about Don Mikowski and his ability to move around and throw the ball. He's throwing more balls off the scramble than he has setting up in the pocket.
1st and 5. Mikowski complete again to Perry Kemp for the 1st down. And Kemp inside the 30 to the 28 of Dallas. Ken Norton runs him out of bounds. A 16-yard pass play. Now, it seems like whenever Mikowski makes his mind up, they can do something.
Well, when he gets going, he's that type of player. He can go around for a couple of quarters or 3 quarters, and all of a sudden, he gets that arm going. He gets these guys like Perry Kemp involved. The thing that you really notice about the situation with the Packers is they really haven't gotten the ball in Sterling Sharp's hands the way that they have in the past. Heads down from Wisconsin.
Mikowski complete to Woodside, who's hog-tied by Eugene Lockhart. Well shy of the 1st down.
Well, you just get the feeling of the play selection here from Lindy Infante that said, hey, enough is enough. Let's start airing the ball out. Let's start throwing the ball. It looks like that they're playing with much more intensity, throwing the ball all over the place, spreading things out. And here's Mikowski doing what he's done all year long. There's Keith Woodside throwing the ball underneath. Lockhart, Pro Bowl performance this year. A little upset by not making it, but quite an inside linebacker.
And rightfully so. Complete to Sterling Sharp. And Sterling Sharp with his third reception of the afternoon. Snake, that's where he's most dangerous. It's after catching the ball.
Exactly, and that's what we say. You notice it when he doesn't catch the ball. You notice when Green Bay does not get the ball to his hands, because he is so exciting once he does. Once they start to feature him, once they figure out the combinations that it takes to get the ball in his hands, then they're very, very dangerous. And here's what he does best, as you say, JB, breaks a tackle. Very good runner after the reception.
And with that reception, Sterling Sharp has now surpassed James Lofton as the yardage reception leader, a Green Bay record. He's got a lot more records coming his way as well. First and goal from the 5. Brent Fullwood back to the line of scrimmage only. Gang tackle by Willie Broughton and Jack Del Rio.
This is the area on the field where Green Bay is very successful with what's almost like pick-type plays. They line their wide receivers up, they run them into each other, make those defensive backs have to avoid each other on their coverage situations. They're very tough with their pick-type plays down around the 5-10-yard line.
Second and goal from the 5. Brent Fullwood, not a big afternoon statistically at all. 8 carries for only 6 yards. Mikowski. Touchdown, Ed West. First catch of the afternoon by Ed West, and there was some concern as to whether or not he was even going to play because he was banged up and nicked up, but he got the call to start. Comes through.
Well, it's a nice little misdirection. See the fake right there? That fake is to hold the linebacker over Ed West, to make him step one way to the other. In this case, make him step to the right, which gives Ed West a chance to move out to his right-hand side for the touchdown.
And the point after by Chris Jackie, his 42nd, is good. And the Packers move out in front by 7 as you take a look at the Cheeseheads. Packers on top by a touchdown.
Dear Mom and Dad, I'm having a great time here at Camp Nippersink. There's lots to do, but I really want to say it's been raining every day. Canoe is swimming, all cooped up, no telephone. Maybe I should come on home.
Nippersinkers, we're going to town for lunch.
McDonald's and you, just around the bend. McDonald's and you, there's an old friend just like home. Have a good time.
Yes, the cooking's fine. Hey guys, ever play Whack Whack Waddle Waddle? Never heard of it. Give me a French fry and I'll tell ya.
Together, McDonald's and you.
We are Nippersinkers, we're in luck. If it rains all week, just pretend you're a duck. Whack Whack Waddle Waddle, Whack Whack Waddle Waddle, Whack.
Together, McDonald's and you.
Introducing the 1990 Toyota Celica. Its totally new shape will please your sense of design. And the way it moves will stimulate your sense of excitement. The all-new Toyota Celica. You'll love what it does for you.
Terra Nova's taking the weekend off.
Let's go be happy campers.
It's a reluctant vacation in the great outdoors. With Wise Guy Wednesday.
And of course, there are a lot of Packer fans who are hoping that is in fact going to be the case. Packers on top 17-10. Christmas Day will be full for you here on CBS. Tomorrow afternoon starting at 2:30 Eastern time. The World Junior Figure Skating Championships featuring USA Olympic hopefuls and superstars of tomorrow. That'll be followed by the NBA here on CBS. All get started at 2:30. James Dixon returning for the Cowboys up near the 27-yard line. And Dixon is limping off. As you take a look at Ed West.
Ed West, alternate to the Pro Bowl this year, nicknamed the Toolbox. Merry Christmas, Toolbox.
As he's saying hello to Keisha. Ball marked at the 27. Snake, as you project down the road for this young man, Troy Aikman, what do you like about him?
I think you like his toughness. You know, he's extremely tough. He's been knocked around an awful lot this year in his rookie year, and he's still standing there throwing the ball. He's got the big league arm, got a very big, strong arm, and I think you have to like that about him. He's smart, understands what they're trying to do. I just think he needs a complement of players around him. I think it's only a matter of time before he establishes himself as one of the better ones.
First and 10, Darryl Johnston. And Johnston with a 6-yard run.
I think you also have to like the improvement, JB. Early in the year, of course, he had the injury and threw some interceptions, but then he learned a lot from it and has had a good second half.
Still a close affair. Philadelphia and Phoenix. Eagles on top by a touchdown. New England narrowing the lead there. Grogan to Fryer makes it 17-10 Rams. And there's a Packer down on the field, and we'll bring you an injury report. Packers on top, 17-10.
Cold filtered, never heat pasteurized, Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its smooth, real draft beer taste, the world is a very cool place. So tap into the cold. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
It was Dean Witter's personal philosophy of success.
We have a sacred trust to protect our customers.
But its impact was felt on California Street.
To maintain conservative policies.
On Lincoln Street and Acorn Street.
To put the interest of our clients first.
Dean Witter put principles before profit, people before portfolios. There are many ways to measure success on Wall Street.
We measure success one investor at a time.
Dean Witter, a member of the Sears Financial Network.
Hey, Mark. May I borrow your car?
It's a V6. Don't let the power go to your head.
The Toyota Camry V6 has 156 horsepower that makes for surprisingly exhilarating driving. But please, try to be mature about it.
Woo! Mark, thanks for letting me borrow this powerful Camry V6. I think I'll go out and buy one today.
I love what you do for me, Toyota.
And as we went to commercial, we mentioned that there's a Packer on the field, and that's Brian Noble, the 5th-year veteran out of Arizona State, who looked to have just been crushed under a mass of humanity there.
Yeah, it looks like somebody maybe came in from the backside. Here you see number 68, right here, that area right there. You're going to see number 68, Crawford Kerr, getting into Noble, pushed him back, and then right there from the outside, one of his own players, looks like Chuck Cecil. Chuck Cecil comes in, and then there's just a mass of humanity on top, and really hard to determine what the injury is.
And you take a look at Brian Noble, good sign there that he's walking off under his own power.
Tough guy.
San Francisco, Chicago coming up next here on CBS. Neil Anderson on the way to his first Pro Bowl, playing extremely well for the Chicago Bears. And of course, Joe Montana will be starting for the 49ers. That'll be coming your way next. Boy, I tell you, they've got a very talented backup in Steve Young, who's done a good job in keeping his mouth shut and trying to show by action he deserves more playing time.
Well, Steve Young is the exception to the rule, a guy that really accepts his role as a backup. He's in a good situation with a championship caliber team. Steve Young is a special type player.
Darryl Johnston to the right. Gain of 3. Will bring up a 3rd and 1 situation as you take a look at the training staff of the Packers working on Brian Noble, who said that he's a Bengals fan from way back, and assuming that his team wins today, he'll be rooting hard and heavy tomorrow night for the Bengals. 3rd and 1. Johnston, the lone back. And the ball carrier. Met temporarily in the backfield, but good second effort helps him to get the first down. And Robert Brown was the guy who had a shot at him first but missed the tackle.
Darrell Johnson, real tough inside runner from Syracuse, get that big back situation, and watch him break this tackle by Robert Brown. Number 93 is going to meet him right there. Hits him up high, and that's the strength of that young man, is that big, strong upper body, and he goes forward with good body lean for the first down.
6'2", 235 pounds, and the running backs coach here really loves him. Joe Brodsky says he's the closest that we have to somebody who will work his rear end off to get better. 13 carries for 51 yards. Play action. Complete from Aikman to Shepard. Well, we've talked about how that Rams game is most important to the Packers. Let's check in with Brent Musburger.
And JB, the New England Patriots have struck back for a touchdown. Grogan, who replaced Mark Wilson, throws the touchdown pass to Irving Fryer, who got behind the Rams secondary and went 47 yards. 17-10. Rams still lead, but it's down to 7. Let's go back to JB.
Second down. All right, Brent, and certainly the drama goes down in the final stretch. Philadelphia and Phoenix still close. Rams and New England close. Packers are hoping for more than close. And that's the end of the third quarter here at Texas Stadium with the score Green Bay 17, Dallas 10. We now pause for a word from your local station.
This is CBS.
It's Oldsmobile's new generation celebration. Oldsmobile's made it possible for its dealers to pass along millions of dollars to its customers.
What does this mean to you, the people of Northeast Wisconsin? $608,500, that's what.
I bought my new Olds. I want my share of the cash.
Yes, sir, Mr. Nitschke.
See your favorite Northeast Wisconsin Olds Reliable for your share of the cash.
White shirt, purple tie, Viking colors. You're not a Viking fan, are you?
No, sir, Mr. Nitschke. Love those Packers.
What you never expected. What you always wanted. A light beer with body and soul. Special export light.
A delicious chicken filet sandwich, a large fry, and a large drink. All for one special price. That's not a triple, that's a home run!
Party's introduces Fun Fries. Our new crispy curls are potato spiral delights with a very lively flavor. Catch 'em if you can.
TV2 congratulates Lindy Infante and the Green Bay Packers on a great season.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We build excitement. The American Express card. Membership has its privileges. And by Miller Genuine Draft. Cold filtered for real draft taste. So tap into the cold.
Ed Too Tall Jones, Everson Walls, and that man there, Tom Rafferty, 3 veterans from the old regime who don't know whether or not they'll be here next year.
Oh, Tom Rafferty anchored that offensive line back in the Staubach days for years, and just a great player that brings that leadership and good toughness to the offensive line. And of course, Rafferty had a terrific career and is on his way out, but after a very fine career.
Kind of interesting what he thought as we take a quick look at Darrell Johnston and talk about toughness. His running ability gives the Cowboys a first down. Where he thought the Cowboy decline started.
Well, he said he thinks that the decline started when Danny White broke his wrist. They were off to they were winning. They were like 6-1, 6-2 at the time. Danny White breaks his wrist. They go on to have a losing season. Since then, they've gone with Hogaboom, they've gone with Pallur, and they really haven't had that quarterback step in as a long-term player, such as the Roger Staubach.
14-15 remaining in the game. Cowboys trailing by a touchdown as Darrell Johnston continues to get the call on the ground. Runs ahead for 3 yards. And Don Mikowski trying to keep that arm warm and, more importantly, hoping that their season will continue into postseason play.
They don't know how to have fun over there. They all tight.
Will become a free agent at the end of the season, a restricted free agent in February.
I bet he gets
a 2-year deal a couple of years ago, and boy, is he sitting in good position.
I bet he gets a nice Christmas present. His will come in the offseason, I'm sure.
2nd and 7. Keith Jennings, the move man. Jennings receives it for the first down, loses the ball out of bounds, but not before gaining the first down.
Well, to shake him loose, he's going to come in motion right down the line right here, break it out there, and then number 22, Mark Lee, who is rolling up in the zone right here, rolls up in the zone, comes up to try to make the play, gambles a little bit. Here comes Jennings out in the flat. There's Lee. Gambles a little bit to try to deflect the ball, misses him completely, which gives Jennings the opportunity to gain extra yards.
1st and 10 from the 40 of the Packers. Aikman fakes the pitch, rolling left. Harris pursuing him. Gets hit hard by Brian Noble. So with Tim Harris breathing down Aikman's back, Noble nails him from the front, but Aikman gains 8 on the play.
Well, Noble banged up, you see right there, but still in good enough shape to deliver a lick. This is the thing you don't like about Aikman, that I don't like about Aikman. I think he ought to dive, get down. He's running straight up as he can be, and he lets those big linebackers take those free shots. He's got to protect himself better than that. See how straight up he is, and he's right in the middle of a bunch of vicious tacklers.
That's your franchise play.
You bet.
2nd and 2. Comes loose. Packers say they have it. We'll await the official signal. And the Packers do have it. 4th turnover of the afternoon. And Snake, I was just about to mention, it's been a pretty even up ball game between the two with the exception of turnovers.
The Cowboys have been playing Green Bay heads up. As you say, the turnovers have been the situation. Aikman turned the ball over going in the first half of the game down inside the Green Bay's 10-yard line, took points off the board. He threw an interception at his own territory, which led to a Green Bay touchdown, and then, of course, these fumbles. Playing them heads up, turnovers are killing them.
And the veteran Mark Murphy comes up with the fumble recovery. Green Bay's ball when we come back.
You hear the thunder, the call of the road.
Moving quick and with purpose. That's the whole idea behind Pontiac's newest Grand Prix.
Get on your Pontiac and ride, Pontiac ride.
Introducing the first Grand Prix ever with 4 doors. The new Grand Prix Sports Sedan.
Rebuild excitement.
Now get 4.8% financing on every new Grand Prix during Pontiac's All-Out Excitement Closeout. Premium champagne.
Deja vu.
You just bought that.
Somebody stole it.
I set down the package to help Megan, and when I turned around, it was gone.
Is it gone, Daddy?
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Didn't you use American Express?
You mean that's it? It's automatic?
Whatever you buy with the American Express card is covered, Mr. Wilcox. Even gifts.
Oh, we were counting on that.
Lost, stolen, or damaged, having a way to protect the things you buy.
Well, Mikowski working his magic, of course, with a 2-touchdown. Aikman 3 interceptions. Not the fact that he had 3 interceptions. Where were they? One going in and scoring territory, one coming out of your own territory, which points involved there. The turnovers, as we said, had really been their downfall.
And going back to the top, as we said, Green Bay must win today and then get a little help from the Eagles and the Rams in order to get in, but both of those teams, Philadelphia and LA, are winning as it stands right now. And of course, if Green Bay holds on for the victory, they'll have to hope for a Vikings loss tomorrow night. That, of course, a big matchup. Vikings and Cincinnati Bengals. 1st and 10 for the Pack from the 30. Mikowski drills it complete, about a yard shy of the first down marker, depending upon the spot. And that's Ed West with the 9-yard pass reception.
Cowboys doing a good job of taking away the deep stuff, taking away the vertical type passing game, making Green Bay throw the ball underneath. They've contained that wide receivers. They've contained that speed very well.
That was his rookie year.
Indianapolis in that matchup with the New Orleans Saints would be out if they lose. They're trailing 24-6. Second and inches. Mikowski going for the pass. Throws it complete for the first down to Sterling Sharp. Now Sharp already has set a team record with 85 catches coming into the game today. And he's got 4 already.
Well, Sterling Sharp is a smart receiver. He knows when to stop, when to sit down, knows where those zones are, has a very good understanding of what defenses are trying to do to him. When he gets his man-to-man coverage, he knows how to use that speed, the great speed, to break away from people. When he's getting zones, he knows when to sit down and help his quarterback.
Strong physically. As a matter of fact, has a brother who's playing at Savannah State that they say may be a little better. But again, I think that was just Sterling selling his brother. Mikowski on first down, and the ball in and out of the hands of the big tight end, Ed West. That one was right there.
Very similar to the play before, 2 plays before when Ed West made the play. They realized what they're doing to him on defense with those zones. See, watch the linebackers. Watch Lockhart run out of there. That's going to be a zone. West realizes that, sits down. Mikowski's on the money. He just got to come up with the catch.
Ed West said himself that he's sure that his Pro Bowl alternate status was not because of his pass catching this year. Came into the contest 20 catches for 255 yards, but a lot of respect for his blocking. Second and 10. 3 wideouts in for the Packers. Mikowski was looking for Sharp, who was covered, and throws it as he's falling down. Dean Hamill putting the pressure on him. Mikowski looked in the direction of Sterling Sharp as long as he could, but Sharp was covered well.
Well, they've done a good job on Sharp, other than the one big play that he made. But watch right here. Here's Sharp going down, working in that hook zone. There's a linebacker sitting there, shadowing him everywhere he goes. And by the time that takes place, they get the pressure on Mikowski.
Jesse Solomon, ex-Minnesota Vikings player, did a great job. As a matter of fact, when Jesse came to the Cowboys, was still rehabbing from that knee. And I'm sure, knowing that he was coming to a new situation, that knee got well quick. Herman Fontenot alone back and on third down. And it's complete. And depending upon where they mark it, it should be more than enough for the first down. Reception made by Jeff Query. And Snake, I've talked about how Jeff Query this season has really come up with some big plays.
Has made some big plays. Comes in on their 4 wide receiver package. Here they get a situation with man-to-man underneath with a free safety. There's Albright, the safety back in the middle, coming up, making a nice play. Query gives you that speed and a possession-type receiver. Good, smart, young receiver. This entire core of receivers, young and ready to go.
And, of course, he caught the touchdown earlier. Jeff Query out of Milliken. First and 10 for the Pack. 9:40 remaining in the game. Green Bay on top by a touchdown as Brent Forwood explodes up the middle.
Well, anytime you have a very successful passing game, you're always going to have your draws and you're always going to have screens. You spread things out. Look how spread they are. They're outside, 2 wide receivers on each side. You spread things. They're playing zone. You see Lockhart dropping out of there in the zone, and you pop the big fullback up in there in the draw. Draw always a part of a good passing offense.
Good 7-yard run by Brent Forwood will bring up a 2nd and 3 situation. Trying to work the clock. Under 9 minutes remaining in the game. Forwood. And Forwood gets close to the first down. I know when we talked with Lindy Infante at the top of the year, mentioned a number of things about how a quarterback principally had to come through, but he also talked a lot about Brent Forwood having to be a major part of this offense.
First thing he said is a quarterback this year, early in the year, he said his quarterback had to step up and be known, and Mikowski has done that. Then he had to get the ball outside to Sharp. They've done that. And then they had to get the good year out of this guy right there. They have gotten a good year, 800-plus yards, slowed down lately with some nicks, some injuries.
10 carries for only 15 yards today. On the I formation, forward again. He's got the first down. Well, the stats may not be impressive, but if he comes up with big plays like that, getting the first downs, that'll make up for it.
Sure, that's what they want out of him, to help control the ball on the ground, take a little bit of pressure off the passing game, and to show you what a tough runner Brent Fullwood can be. Watch, he breaks the line of scrimmage here, and then look at him run right over the top of Ray Horton, number 30.
And until the Nixon injury slowed him up, again, reinforcing what Lindy Infante felt about the Plan B free agent market, helping to make for a more competitive situation, Michael Haddix really pushed Brent Fullwood.
Also said when you have to play Michael Haddix, he doesn't worry about that whatsoever. Michael Haddix, good, steady performer.
Flag on first down as Fullwood gets the call again. Flags on both sides of the field.
Offsides, defense, first down.
Spared someone the embarrassment by not calling the number. All the way down from Madison, Wisconsin. Now, we will call them affectionately Cheeseheads. As a matter of fact, the Wisconsin Dairy Association sent a whole shipment of cheese to the Cincinnati Bengals coach, Sam Weich, hoping that they will help them tomorrow night against the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, they'll need some help with that. They need to win here today, and then they need Cincinnati to give them a hand.
1st and 5. Woodside tripped up. Give the credit to Dean Hamill. Boy, Dean Hamill has really been getting in that backfield and causing some damage.
I think that's a strong part of his game. It's really not as a pass rusher. It's the fact that he is very, very quick off the football. He's not a huge defensive lineman. Fairly short for a defensive lineman, about 6'3". Weighs about 260, but he's very quick off the ball, gets that penetration past the line of scrimmage to help destroy all the blocking combinations.
Started 17 games in 4 years with the Redskins. As you take a look at the Packers on this drive here, eating up the clock, the big thing there. 6:23 remaining in the game. 2nd and 9. Mikowski throwing in the direction of Perry Kemp. And I bet you when Sterling Sharp gets back to the huddle, he'll tell Mikowski, hey, I was open, babe.
Well, I think that he probably was. They had him in the slot that time and sent him back to the corner, and I think he did have something. Looked like Mikowski may have kind of just made his mind up that, hey, I'm going to try to take Kemp on the outside and then get the first down and go from there.
Well, certainly Kemp has been the benefactor of Sterling Sharp receiving so much attention, particularly in the first half.
I don't think there's any doubt. I think you're going to get teams that are going to say, hey, who can hurt us as a pass receiver? They're going to say Sterling Sharp. Okay, let's double him, take him away, opens things up for the other receivers.
Herman Fontenot, the lone back. On 3rd down, Mikowski completes to Sharp for the first down. Well, when he has to go to the sure-handed receiver, Sterling Sharp.
And the thing that makes him so tough down here when he gets that tight coverage, when he gets that man-to-man type coverage, is he's so quick off the ball. Watch this right here, and the little stutter step moves right here. Give him a little something outside right there, get their defensive back turned, break the ball inside. Good, clean reception for the first down.
There was a late flag on that play.
Offsides, defense, penalty is declined, first down.
All right, goes against Dallas. No, Sterling Sharp, I guess the best way to characterize him is to say he's the Tim Harris of the offense.
Always talking out there, has a good time playing, always talking to his teammates, talks to the other guys he's playing against. There you see the big smile on his face. Very friendly, outgoing personality.
Said he really hopes that his brother does not get drafted in the first round because he might make more money. And you see he's near Lindy Infante. Working those ears. On first down, Fullwood trying to get to the outside. Good second effort as he escapes the grasp of Jim Jeffcoat for only a 1-yard gain.
Well, there were 2 tight ends that time trying to run the ball, like we said earlier, to secure one of the corners. They bring in that 2 tight ends off the perimeters, and they try to bounce Fullwood outside. But Jeff Coat plays it very well. Number 77 does not lose containment, strings it out, gets a hand on Fullwood, and then waits for a little help from his friends.
Did you ever have any receivers who always wanted the ball and said they could always be open?
Cliff Branch used to holler for the ball before he ever put his shoes on. Before he ever got him tied in the locker room, Cliff Branch was saying, I got this guy, I can beat him.
Packers extremely effective inside the 20, scoring 87% of the time as Keith Woodside takes it down inside the 10 for a 3-yard gain. And knowing that you had to play the part of psychologist, how did you deal with him?
Oh, you agree. You just say, okay, I'll get it to you. I'm going to throw it to you every down. You just kind of calm them down, tell them you're going to work with them. But to be perfectly honest with you, the thing to do with guys like that is get them something early. Throw them the ball early. That settles them down. Big down right here. Down inside, they bring in all of their wide people, queries in. They bring in Fontenot, 27, a group of wide receivers. Down here is where they have great success picking people, running those defensive backs together.
4 wideouts in for the Pack. Perry Kemp, the move man. Mikowski goes back across to Fontenot. And Fontenot is going to come up short of the first down. And for you Packer fans, take a look there. All tied between the Rams and New England, 17 apiece. Of course, if the Rams lose, the Packers, if they win today, get into the playoffs. Chris Jackie will attempt this field goal for the Packers. And it's good. So Chris Jackie gives the Packers a bit more of a buffer by 10.
Miller Genuine Draft.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Cold filtered, never heat pasteurized. Miller Genuine Draft. For those who discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
I thought, this isn't a little quake. 504, it just felt like a giant jackhammer hit the house. The All-State Claims Adjuster was driven down here and introduced himself as Roger. He just took me around and consoled me and told me that we were going to get a place to stay in, we were going to be able to rebuild, and then he did something he didn't have to do. He started climbing right up there and hauling stuff out for us. You know, you listen to these ads about you're in good hands, and if you don't go through it, it's just one more ad that you laugh at. Well, I won't laugh at it now.
Big, it's now. It's Pontiac's all-out excitement closeout. Now with our longest-term 4.8% finance rate ever on Grand Prix. That's right. Now every new Grand Prix is available with long-term 4.8% financing. Or get your share of millions in cash back on Grand Prix and almost every other new 1990 Pontiac in stock. But hurry, your Pontiac dealer is closing out the year with big cash back or 4.8% financing on Grand Prix. It won't last long. See your Pontiac excitement dealer now.
The team of the decade plays their last game of the decade. The Niners in the 80s against the Bears today.
Chris Jackie's 24-yard field goal puts the Pack on top 20-10. A good afternoon for Chris Jackie, and there's his mom's standing up there, Mildred Jackie. She's here today with her husband and 12 other relatives and friends.
Yeah, a good Christmas present for that lady right there would be the Packers in the playoffs, huh?
No doubt about it. High and short. This one taken at the 15 by Dixon. And Dixon hops his way up to about the 37-yard line. Let's check in for an NFL Today update with Brent Musburger.
Well, JB, a lot of folks said the Los Angeles Rams might have some difficulty coming east to conquer the weather. And right now, the Patriots have moved into a tie. It is 17-all. Rams need a win to get into the playoffs. Let's go back to JB.
All right, Brent, well, we certainly know some fans who aren't cheering for the Rams, and those are Packer fans. And speaking of other playoff hopefuls, with Indianapolis losing to the New Orleans Saints right now by the score of 31-6, if Indianapolis loses, then Houston gets back into the playoff picture. They become a wild card. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Derek Shepard. Share your holidays with us here on CBS. We'll bring a full lineup your way starting tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern with a Christmas Winter Sports Special. The World Junior Figure Skating Championships coming your way starting at 2:30 Eastern Time, and then that'll be followed by the NBA on CBS, Cleveland and Atlanta. Dick Stockton, Hubie Brown, and Pat O'Brien will bring you the excitement of Dominique Wilkins and the shooting precision of Mark Price and Craig Elo. Hoops tomorrow right here on CBS.
Cowboys need to find a way to throw the ball down the field. Green Bay's making them throw everything underneath. They need to start stretching that defense because they're running out of time. They've got to have 2 scores. They're going to have to do something in a hurry. I see throwing the ball down the field.
And a hurry indeed. Only 3:06 remaining as Cornell Burbage saw that one go through his hands. The coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS is Chuck Milton. Today's game was produced by George Veras, always on top of it and on the phone, and directed by Bob Matina. Our associate director is Richard Drake, and our broadcast associate is Larry Lancaster. Stats and numbers, Gary Lynn, Steve Kleinfeld, and of course we'd like to thank our fine crew for an outstanding year, and the executive producer, the boss, Ted Shaker. On 3rd and 10, Tim Harris comes through with sack number 1 of the day for him, 19.5 on the year.
Well, they contained him most of the day. You can't contain him all day. He's just a great player, Pro Bowl player, 18.5 sacks, now 19.5 sacks. He is the reason that their defense has survived this year because they've moved him all over the field. There he is playing the game on the right-hand side, right in there. Very quick, strong, tall, tough player.
Safety for the Packers at his own 26-yard line.
Saxon gets away a low liner, but it takes Cowboys hop flag on a play as Jeff Query turns on the afterburners and pushed out of bounds up near the 27-yard line by Jack Del Rio. 49-yard punt, 11-yard return. Have we nicknamed Bob Matina Pictures? Is that the deal?
He's Pictures.
Pictures.
Our director, and a good one.
.230 remaining in the game. Packers on top by 10.
Post-possession foul. Holding. 83 on the receiving team. First down.
That's Carl Bland. And Tom Dooley just gave us the signal as well to take a commercial break, and we'll do just that. Tim Harris celebrating with the Packers leading by 10.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. Jim Plunkett and Randy Vataha were teammates forever. Beginning in 1967, they played together for 4 years at Stanford. And when Plunkett was the #1 draft choice of the Patriots, Vataha, a free agent, followed his former teammates in New England. The partnership and magic that they had exhibited in college was there in the pros, as these 2 longtime teammates made the Patriots the best they can be.
Enemy on the open. Moving up on your right, Bravo 2. Fire!
I'm 30 miles from the action, but I'm responsible for a digital communication link between headquarters and brigade.
Enemy tank, checkpoint 1.
If the data isn't programmed right, 5,000 troops could be cut off.
Enemy forces together.
But I'd never let that happen to my brigade.
Op 4 is eliminated. Be all that you can be.
We did it, sir.
Outstanding. Get an edge on life in the Army.
Just when you thought it was safe to go on vacation. It's the Griswolds. Chevy Chase stars in the original National Lampoon's Vacation Tuesday.
Get ready.
I'm running out of guys who'll work with you next.
For a cop with a different lifestyle.
They think you're dangerous.
Works hard.
They think you're crazy.
Plays even harder.
They think you'll get them killed.
Shadow Stevens.
They drink too much caffeine.
Is Max Monroe Loose Cannon. Premieres Friday, January 5th.
Lindy Infante trying to stay on top of his troops. Right now, his troops are in good shape, on top by 10, 20-10. And if you're just tuning in, Green Bay can get into the playoffs by first, of course, beating the Cowboys, which they're doing and should hold on. And then they'll need some help from Philadelphia or L.A. Those two squads, either or, would have to lose today. Rams are tied right now. Eagles are ahead in their contest. So that means Green Bay will have to hope for a Minnesota loss tomorrow against Cincinnati. As Keith Woodside gets run out of bounds and a flag on a play. A little over-aggressive, an extra play over after the play being whistled, as well as a face mask. I guess that might cover it all, huh? Probably should have put face mask first, huh?
Tom's going to straighten this out.
Little lecture.
Face mask, 24 defense, first down.
And from the Packer faithful who are here down near the end zone, they're yelling, "The Pack is back." I think that's a fairly accurate statement.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. I think they can improve their team in some areas, of course. I think offensively they're extremely strong with an awful lot of weapons. I think they'd like to have a little bit more pass rush out of their down people to help out Tim Harris.
On 1st and 5, Brent Fullwood gets the call, and he runs into a wall of Cowboys for a no gain. Dean Hamill, along with Jack Del Rio, smashing into Fullwood. And the Cowboys have called a timeout. 2:17 remaining. Snake and I talked about the Packers with 3 Pro Bowlers on this year's squad. Sterling Sharp, Don Mikowski, and Tim Harris. An alternate in Ed West. And Rich Moran certainly did a little something good as well.
Of course, Joe Montana having a career year.
Take a look at the rest of the Pro Bowlers from the NFC. And on the defensive side, Tim Harris represented Lawrence Taylor, Mike Singletary. Singletary actually beat out Eugene Lockhart, although he had only, quote, 137 tackles. Lockhart was well over 200. That's certainly not taking anything away from Mike Singletary. I certainly wouldn't be the one to say it to him. Maybe Tim Harris would. 2nd and 5. And Mikowski, under pressure, throws it wide of the intended target, Ed West.
Well, he had something working coming out of the play fake, trying to slide the tight end out there. Jack Del Rio, number 55, on a linebacker blitz, gets his hands in Mikowski's face, disrupts the timing, and Mikowski overthrows.
That'll be coming up next. Speaking of Mike Singletary and company, they'll be taking on the San Francisco 49ers. I tell you, even during the Chicago slide, Mike Singletary has played with fierce pride and intensity. 3rd and 5. 4 wide receivers set in for the Packers. And Mikowski tries to run it to get to the first down, and a gain of a big 1 as Bill Bates stops him as we wind down to the 2-minute warning. 2:03 remaining. And a timeout has been called by the Cowboys. So the Cowboys with 1 remaining. The education of Jimmy Johnson this year in the NFL. Talked about a number of things, said he wasn't aware that the talent wasn't as good as he thought. We also found out that he thought he had some speed, but he was looking at his own players and really was misled.
Yeah, this team wasn't quite as fast as he anticipated, weren't quite as good as he anticipated. I think the rigors of just being an NFL coach was a little bit more than he expected. Not enough time, in his opinion, to help develop the young players. Not real happy with the Cowboy facility. It says it's not conducive to winning football. The weight training facility outside, the weather interrupts the weight training, and he's upset about a lot of different things.
And just a couple minutes away from setting a new record for home futility. It'll be 14 consecutive home losses. The Packers' Don Bracken comes on to punt, standing near his own goal line. Big rush, and he gets it away and gets a good one away. Pushing Burbage back, 4-5 hang time. And the Cowboys will start from their own 31 after that 48-yard Don Bracken punt.
Miller Genuine Draft.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Cold filtered, never heat pasteurized. Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
You hear the thunder, the call of the road. No time to wonder, you gotta go.
It's a driving experience like no other. Pontiac Grand Prix.
Get on your Pontiac and ride, Pontiac ride.
Once you experience the 1990 Grand Prix, your approach to driving will never be the same.
Rebuild excitement.
Now get 4.8% financing on every new Grand Prix during Pontiac's All-Out Excitement Closeout.
This is really weird. I have to shampoo a lot. And every time I do, my hair gets wet, but my scalp gets dry. It's tight and itchy. The more I shampoo, the drier it can get. Now, I can't stop shampooing, but I can use this. New dry scalp shampoo from Head & Shoulders. Made a different way, so it doesn't dry out your scalp like those other guys can. Try Head & Shoulders new dry scalp shampoo and help wipe out dry scalp.
1:55 remaining in the game. Green Bay on top, 20-10. And for the Packer followers, the Rams trailing by 3 as New England comes up with a field goal to take the lead late in the fourth quarter there. And of course, if the Rams lose, Packers are into the playoffs. And there won't be a more vocal Packer than Tim Harris if that holds. First and 10 from the 31 for the Cowboys. Aikman throws it to Keith Jennings. Jennings has the first down by a yard. Tackled by Ron Pitts.
They're really playing that deep, almost like a prevent type zone, which it is. If you'll look at how deep the linebackers line up. Look at that right there, JB. Look how deep the safeties are, not to avoid giving up the big play.
Aikman running for the second first down near the 40-yard line of the Packers. And for those detailing, Jason Starosky with the field goal, a 48-yarder. And there are 5 minutes remaining in that Rams-New England contest. Well, I tell you, Pete Rozelle got exactly what he was looking for in terms of parity. This many teams going into the last weekend of the season, still with a shot of making it into the playoffs.
It has really made for an exciting year, all the way down to the wire and all the divisions with everybody still available for playoff contention. It's just really been an exciting year to reiterate that he has got what he wanted.
Complete to Junior Tuipulotu inside the 30, and a third first down for the Cowboys. 11-yard gain. And again, that prevent defense you're talking about, allowing that.
It's going to allow that. They're going to give you that short stuff, the dump off type stuff. You're going to see that happen when they get in that type of defense.
And Aikman escapes the grasp of Mark Hall, who had him, and comes back with the second effort to get him. A loss of 2. So Mark Hall missed the first tackle, an opportunity at a sack, but good second effort drops Aikman with under a minute.
Exactly. Aikman just spends his last timeout. That's all the Cowboy timeouts. See those backs back there playing that deep zone. Linebackers dropping out of there. They don't even touch number 72. He comes in there. Aikman, with his athletic ability, just has to do whatever he can to get whatever he can. Come on, rally around him, guys. Help him out.
Mark Hall, a rookie out of Southwest Louisiana, picks up his first professional sack. And Dallas out of timeouts. Mistaken all your years. In a situation like this, down by 10, I've heard tell stories where you would still tell your guys, hey, we can do it. We've got it under control. What might the package of plays be that Jimmy Johnson ought to be telling his crew right now?
Well, I think you have to have that attitude that, well, 55 seconds left, and of course you're down by 10. Anything can happen. But I think you have to find ways to throw the ball to the receivers while they're on the run, not dump it off to guys that are stationary, crossing type things where they might catch the ball on the run, break it real bit for a big one, and then, of course, try to get the ball back again.
On 2nd and 12, Aikman going up top, looking for Shepard, and it's intercepted by Dave Brown. 4th interception of the day for the Packers. Dave Brown's 6th of the year. A 15-year veteran. So while the Packers seemingly secure things here, the Rams are down on a 4-yard line of New England, threatening there as Mikowski goes into the win it formation, as you call it.
The winning formation. Don't risk any kind of handoff or anything. Just get the exchange from the center. Cowboys are out of all their timeouts and run it out.
So Lindy Infante is just going to allow the clock to run out, and he gets the big dump of water from his team.
And there's his big defensive star right there to meet him, Tim Harris. Great year, Pro Bowl type year.
And he probably was thinking if anyone was going to throw the water, it was going to be Tim
Harris.
So I'm safe.
He's done just a masterful coaching job this year of manipulating his players into positions to help them help the ball club. Great offensive passing game. Got a great year out defensively out of Tim Harris. Good coaching job.
So Green Bay does its part trying to get into the playoffs with the victory 20-10. They need a little help. Don't forget, coming up next, the NFL postgame show with Brent and Irv. They'll be with you in just a moment.
Behind every American.
Congratulations to Green Bay. Let's quickly now take you to New England. The Rams are threatening. They're trying to get in. They've just rushed the ball inside the 5-yard line. We're now going to join Tim Brandt live.
We want to welcome everyone to Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. It is cold, temperature 15 degrees. 2 minutes and 14 seconds remain in the ball game, and the Patriots, surprising the Rams, lead 20-17. Greg Bell for the Rams has gone over 200 yards rushing, and now Los Angeles is inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal at the 3.
All right, we will go back after the 2-minute warning, and let's take a look at some of the earlier action from the game. The Patriots have come from behind in this one, and of course a short time ago they drew ahead. For all Green Bay Packer fans, they need a win by the Patriots, and the Packers qualify for the playoffs. Now, this was Jerry Gray picking off the pass early for the Rams back in the first half, and it put the Rams up by 10 points, and it looked like it was going to be easier, and then the Patriots came back.
Well, John Stevens gets outside and over his left end. The Ram defense broke down there. He goes in from 4 yards out, and the Pats took the lead.
All right. Now, of course, the other scenario does not look good as far as Green Bay is concerned, and that's that one right there. Philadelphia 10 points ahead of the Cardinals. Now, should the Rams come on and win this game this afternoon and the Eagles' lead hold up, then it goes down to tomorrow night as far as the Green Bay Packers are concerned. They must have a victory by the Cincinnati Bengals over the Vikings, because the Packers would not qualify for the playoffs if the Vikings win that game. Should the Vikings lose it tomorrow night at home against Cincinnati, then the Packers will win the division championship. So, Irv, you can't say enough about the job Lindy Infante has done with this Green Bay team, regardless of what happens.
Well, you know, everybody sort of thought it was a fluke early in the year when they beat Chicago on a questionable pass play early in the season when they thought their quarterback may or may not have been across the line of scrimmage. But they have a high-powered offense. Their defense has come along very well. And, well, he's a candidate now for Coach of the Year.
He certainly is. All right. They're about ready now to resume play. Remember, the Patriots lead it by 3. 2 minutes to play. Rams inside the 5. Back to Tim Brad.
A win by the Rams today would clinch a wild card spot. If they lose, they need help. Minnesota has to lose. Temperature 15 degrees. Wind chill -2. Rams have 3 timeouts remaining. The Patriots have 3. And the attention now starts to focus on Greg Bell, the running back for the Rams. 25 carries, 207 yards. It's his 3rd 200-yard game of his career.
And you know the Rams offensively, you've got to be thinking, hey, Greg Bell has been running well for us. Our offensive line has been blocking tremendously well for us. Let's just keep in there behind the big guys and take it into the end zone, win this thing, and get on the plane and go home to Los Angeles.
Tim Brand along with Dan Jiggetts. It's 1st and goal at the 3. Rams. Bell, right side, touchdown Los Angeles.
Ron Robertson knowing that he's got it going now. Just get that defense out there and have them hold, and they're on their way to the playoffs.
Lansford comes on for the extra point. And I don't know how he's doing it with no sock or shoe on that right foot. And it's good. I know this. Lansford's running faster and faster to that sideline.
And Greg Bell has been running faster and faster throughout this game. He's had a
Well, some of the most interested observers, Irv, as the replay here, and the Rams go ahead on this touchdown inside of 2 minutes to play. Obviously, we're going to keep Packer fans informed as to what happens if the Patriots come back in this one. And the Green Bay Packers, as soon as they left the field down in Dallas, they all went inside the locker room, and they are watching that game, and they saw the Rams take the lead. This is a live shot right now of the Green Bay Packer locker room needing help here so that they can get on into the playoffs. Obviously, they would love to see the Patriots rally and pull this one out. You can see the screen that they're watching on inside their facility down at Texas Stadium right now. Now, we do have one final in, and it has affected the playoffs. The Indianapolis Colts have been knocked out of the AFC chase 41-6. What this means is there is a very good chance, or at least a chance, that Houston and Cincinnati would meet again as the wild card game. The Bengals would have to beat the Vikings for that to happen. If not, it's going to be Houston and Pittsburgh. The Steelers are well on their way to a victory. So everything will become perfectly clear, and we'll inform you at halftime. We'll keep Packer fans up to date on what's happening. Coming up next, it'll be Chicago and San Francisco. So long for now, everybody.
Morning, folks. This is Captain Neely. Appears we've got the friendly skies all to ourselves.
Well, most people are just getting up. One airline.
Rams and Lindy Infante with a win got the dousing from the ice bucket down in Dallas on a very bitter cold day. And moments after that, it was the New Orleans Saints who closed out on a very strong note, eliminating the Indianapolis Colts from all playoff contention in the AFC. So a disappointing ending for Ron Meyer. Meanwhile, the Packers went inside their locker room to pull for the New England Patriots, because if the Patriots could hold on against the Rams, the Packers would go to the playoffs. But Greg Bell, with a monstrous afternoon, rushing for better than 200 yards, put the Rams ahead with time running out in the game at Foxborough. Then shortly after that, the Kansas City Chiefs eliminated the Miami Dolphins from playoff contention with a field goal by Nick Lowry. But the jubilation in Kansas City did not last long, because shortly after that, it was the Pittsburgh Steelers eliminating Kansas City as Lewis Lips caught 2 touchdown passes and the Steelers stayed alive. Meanwhile, back at Dallas, last play time for the Patriots. Packers watching from the locker room. Steve Grogan had a man open momentarily, couldn't spot him, and then overthrew a receiver. Now, the Packers' hopes depend upon the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams had won a wild card spot in the NFC playoffs. Then at the Meadowlands over in New Jersey, it was the New York Giants ending the one-year reign of the Philadelphia Eagles as division champions. Led by Dave Meggett with a sensational punt return, the Giants put away the Los Angeles Raiders in the second half, and they will host a divisional playoff game in 2 weeks. 34-17 was the final. And Bill Parcells getting the photographers back out of the way, he took the water treatment. Then it was Randall Cunningham and the Philadelphia Eagles. And they will host the wild card next week against the Los Angeles Rams. Cunningham leading the Eagles on into the promised land. One more piece of business on this day before Christmas. And Irv Cross, what a year for Barry Sanders.
What an exciting runner today. He scored 3 touchdowns, ran for 158 yards, and is just about 10 yards shy of the overall rushing record. There it is right there.
Christian Okoye of the Kansas City Chiefs winning it in the AFC. And now a look at the playoff picture. Next Sunday, the Rams and the Eagles. This figures to be the first game next Sunday afternoon. We do not have official confirmation on that. In the AFC, the Houston Oilers will be at Cincinnati, 61-7. What a rematch that would be. But first, the Bengals must beat Minnesota tomorrow night. If the Vikings win, they're going to go, and so are the Pittsburgh Steelers. They will go down to Houston to play the Oilers. Now, that's a situation as far as the AFC is concerned. In the NFC, the Giants and the 49ers will host games in 2 weeks. It'll be either Minnesota or Green Bay.
At least that could be a seasonal.
But as you say, tie. Minnesota would win the tie break should they go on and win against Cincinnati on Monday night. So Green Bay knew they had to beat Dallas and then just wait for Monday and cheer on those Cincinnati Bengals. Just the same, a win today would be their 10th of the season. They won just 4 last year, and Packer fans were hoping Santa would come in riding with a victory, bringing gifts like this gift, Don Mikowski to Perry Kemp, 39 yards. Kemp is ruled down, and the Packers will settle for a field goal, but they have a 3-0 lead. The Dallas defense huddles and says, let's regroup, guys. We do not want to finish 1-15. Mikowski gets sacked, fumbles the ball, and watch this, a little help, and it rolls all the way out of bounds. Mikowski then nailed by Billy Bates, who comes in with a hit. Then sacked by Jeff Coat once again. Cheeseheads all the way from Wisconsin down to Dallas. They're silent at this point. Dallas drives downfield. Troy Aikman's intercepted by Johnny Holland. And then late in the half, the Packers will be on the move. Sterling Sharp for 29 yards. And what a catch this one is, Tom.
John, this is the most difficult of catches for receivers. It's coming straight over the top of his head. And then after he catches the ball, has the presence of mind to plant the feet in bounds and get the legal grab.
2 plays later, Mikowski to work again. Finds Jeff Query, 14 yards for the touchdown. The Packers are up 10-3 at halftime, and the Cheeseheads have something to cheer about this time. And then second half, the Packer tries to get fancy. Forward hit by Carter on the reverse. Del Rio scoops up the fumble, 57 yards for the touchdown, and ties the game at 10 apiece. Lindy and Funny scratch that one off the playbook, will you? Late in the third quarter, the Packers driving. Mikowski to Sharp, 18 yards. And Sharp breaks James Lofton's single-season Packer receiving yardage record. 2 plays later, Mikowski to work again, this time looking for Ed West, 5 yards of the touchdown. The Packers are up 17-10. And Mikowski on the day, 21 of 32, 232 yards, not picked off once. Aikman tries to bring Dallas back, but here's a hit. Watch Brian Noble, and Troy Aikman, Tom, has to learn something about this.
Well, you know, this hit is a legal hit. He's not hitting him in the head, he's getting him in the chest. But you're exactly right. Troy has to learn to use that slide.
Slide, pretend you're going into second base like Henderson. Aikman sacked by Tim Harris. And then he's intercepted by Dave Brown. Interception ties him for 5th on the all-time list. Sterling Sharp gives the coaches a hug. Anthony Dilwig says, I'm ready for Christmas. Got to play Santa tonight. And Lindy Infante gets the Gatorade bat. The Packers win 20-10. 10-6, their best record in 17 years. The Cowboys, 1-15, lose for an NFL record 14 straight at home. Green Bay is in if Minnesota loses to Cincinnati. And Lindy Infante says they have done their job.
Regardless of what happens here in the next few minutes or in the next, next day, these guys have an awful lot to be proud of.
We're going to pull for Cincinnati, and hopefully they'll play like they did against Houston. And we don't want them to win, 61-7. If they can just beat them 74-3 or something like that, we'll be happy.
If Cincinnati can